And so one of the big things we're doing is we have care package drives with Rock Valley Physical Therapy and PCI. So they'll be helping us with drives, which don't worry if you're a veteran out there, or soldier out there. It's not the typical list. I did the list because, let's be honest, when I was deployed, a lot of the stuff ended up in a burn pit because,
we didn't stuff you needed.
Yeah. We're not in poverty. We don't need 100 million pounds of toothpaste.
All right. Hey, Cedar Rapids. Tim Nash of Skogman Realty here. How y'all doing? Welcome to Lunch with Friends. I'm hanging out today with my good friend John Thompson. He is the founder and president. Is that what we call you these days? He's the founder and president of an amazing veteran nonprofit here in Cedar Rapids called Salute to the Fallen. And then we're having lunch today at the Groundswell Café on 3rd Avenue. On the west side of the river, and some of you may know Groundswell Café is part of Matthew 25, which is another fantastic nonprofit here in Cedar Rapids that really helps out really folks throughout Cedar Rapids, but they really focus their efforts in the Kingston, Time Check, kind of here on the west side of the river, kind of between downtown and Ellis Park. But we're at the Groundswell Café. Now, the great thing about Groundswell is people can come in here who might not have the money to buy lunch, and they can be fed. And then also, all tips that you give when you come here to Groundswell to have lunch, all those tips go to Matthew 25 to help out folks in the area. So food's really good. John got a deli sandwich. I got a Philly coming here with some coleslaw. So excited to dig into that. So check out Groundswell Cafe and, do some good while you're having a great lunch. But speaking of doing good, so John's here today. I think that I would like to call this is kind of like a salute to the fallen call to 2025 call to action. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a year.
It's going to be a year. I'm a member of Salute to the Fallen as well. I'm a board member. I'm actually serving as John's vice president, and as a nonprofit, and John's going to probably be able to speak to better than I am, but I'll do my best. As a Salute to the Fallen, we exist to help veterans and first responders really in any way we can. We focus a lot on mental health, suicide prevention, because that's just such a big issue, as you will come to find out after talking to John what's going on this year. We also assist deploying units in their mobilizations, trying to help coordinate logistics for their MOBs before they actually leave the state and when they leave their hometowns. And but really, in so many ways, we're trying to help veterans and their families in any way we really can. So, and John, as always, is doing lots of business.
Yeah. Sorry.
But we've got a lot of events happening. But really, what I'd like to talk to John about a little bit about, specifically 2025. What's happening right now in 2025 that we really are going to be reaching out to the community a lot this year for support.
So a couple of the big things, as Tim said, we are really big in the mental health side. So far this year, we are seeing, unfortunately, record numbers in Iowa of veteran and military suicides. So we are at 31 to date, which is astronomical at this point in time.
And I mean, like, in my mind, we were actually at 29 because I checked with you 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago we were at 29. So now we're up to 31.
Yeah.
And it's only April.
Yeah, and then the other big thing is we have multiple deployments throughout the state this year. So we have close to 1,900 guardsmen deploying in May. We have another batch of guardsmen leaving in July, and then reserves in September.
Yeah.
And so we have multiple different Iowans across the state that will be leaving their husbands, their wives, their children, and going overseas. And where they're going is kind of a volatile area. And so one of the big things we're doing is we have care package drives with Rock Valley Physical Therapy and PCI. So they'll be helping us with drives, which don't worry if you're a veteran out there, or soldier out there. It's not the typical list. I did the list because, let's be honest, when I was deployed, a lot of the stuff ended up in a burn pit because,
we didn't stuff you needed.
Yeah. we're not in poverty. We don't need 100 million pounds of toothpaste.
Yeah, we don't need all the baby wipes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I made a list, and we're going to be sending out numerous care packages to all of Iowa's guardsmen. So that's going to be a big one. Another big initiative that I'm working on is the military children here. So out of Des Moines, they have a great program with the Iowa National Guard for the military children as their parents are deployed. But then here on this side of Iowa, we don't really have much. They do one event in this AO, and there's going to be a lot of families struggling, not just financially, because you got to remember, a lot of these guys, when they leave, they're taking pay cuts from their normal jobs on deployment. And so we will be working with
right here, sir,
them on that. And then we're also going to be trying to work with the school districts on how to handle some of these kids with the upcoming issues, whether it's mental or just acting out because they're not used to this. A lot of these guys deploying, it's their first time.
Yeah.
They haven't seen a deployment like this. So there's a lot of things to look at with that. We're going to be pushing out stuff to the community very soon about how you guys can get involved with flag lines and holding signs and being a part of the deployments on the escort side. Then, like Tim said, we have a lot of unique and new events this year.
We've got so many things happening this year, and it really, when we talk about people getting involved, there's so many ways for you to get involved. If you want to volunteer, you can reach out to myself or John, and you can volunteer. But also, if you're about having some fun and fun for a cause, we've got so many cool things happening. So just a week from this Saturday, so April 19th, we are going to actually be doing our first ever pickleball tournament, and we're going to be doing that at the Pickle Palace. We're going to start at 9, and it's going to go till 3. And we'll have trophies, and we're going to have a silent auction, and it's two-person teams. So I'll be playing with my wife, and I think John's going to be playing with somebody.
Yeah, I'm still looking for my number 2.
You could be a partner. You could partner up with John. Reach out to John. He'll partner up with you for our first annual pickleball tournament. So that's April 19th. But that's just the first thing. So what else we got going on between? In my mind, it's the pickleball tournament, and then there's the golf outing. But we got a lot of stuff happening.
We have a lot in between and after. So, like Tim said, April's our first ever pickleball tournament. We're really excited to work with Pickle Palace on this. They've been good to us on this event.
Yep.
May, we have our Memorial 5K honoring over 400 of Iowa's fallen, from first responders to military to veterans that lost the fight to the war at home. Then we have our annual Memorial Day event at Cancun, where they donate 50% of the proceeds back. So we'll have 2 different T-shirts releasing in May. June, we have our bags tournament, the first weekend of June. Last weekend of June is our Silkies hike. It's our Get Rucked Ruck March, 9.5 miles. We start at Scores on 33rd. The furthest point of downtown we reach is the Rock Bar, and then we hike all the way back. And we actually booked a band for that one, so that will be a big event this year. July's our golf outing. August, we've teamed up with Benefit the Vets. So we will be up there at their Diamond Rio Shenandoah concert with displays, as well as honoring 2 of Iowa's fallen. We have our motorcycle ride in August. And then in September, we have our 22-mile bike ride. So we have a lot of new events. We also have a 5K going to be popping up in Des Moines. So we have our first ever big event going on in Des Moines this year in August.
And then we'll be capping everything off with what?
Our gala. So our gala is going to be the second Saturday of December.
Yep.
And it sounds like we are going to be...
We'll be at Vets Memorial this year.
Yeah, we're changing locations. We will be at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium.
Yep. So, I mean, if you've listened to this and you're just trying to think, well, these guys are doing a lot for veterans. And let's not forget our first responders. Yeah. So we have, and we're about 2 years in, right?
On the first responder program.
So we not only service our veterans and their families, but also first responders and their families. That includes police, fire, Paramedics.
Canines.
Canines, right. So if you like what you're hearing and you like the things, we have so many different ways for you to get involved. As I mentioned, you can volunteer. You can get involved with any one of the different events that we just talked about. They're all tons of fun. And one thing that we really try to focus on is we want everybody to find a way that they can get connected to us and thereby also getting connected to our veterans, because one thing that we really want to do is we want to bridge the gap between civilians and veterans, and make sure that our veterans and our first responders are getting the help that they need. So please reach out to me or John. Go to our website, salutetothefallen.org.
Yep.
Go to our Facebook page, Salute to the Fallen
Foundation.
Salute to the Fallen Foundation. Go to my Facebook page, just Tim Nash Realtor, and reach out to me. Just we'd really like you to get involved. And again, we've tried to provide a variety of ways for people to get engaged.
So we have everything where you can get involved with peer support or crisis intervention. I'm actually going to be putting a multitude of teams together for crisis response, where it's not so much just on me. We are going to be starting our own motorcycle side of Salute soon. And so we will have the Salute Riders group. And that way you can assist with the funeral side and some of the big events. Is another big thing we have going on in September this year is we're doing the escort and working with Solon American Legion on the GWAT wall coming to Iowa for the first time ever, which is the Global War on Terror. And that wall honors everyone that has given their life for our nation since the Beirut bombings to the withdrawal of Afghanistan. And so we have a lot of new stuff we're doing. We've teamed up with a lot of new businesses already. Shout out to Springville American Legion. They've gone above and beyond so far. They are the name sponsor for the 5K this year. They're the trophy sponsor for Pickleball next Saturday. And so we are looking for community members, not only to financially give, because that is what ultimately helps us with our mission. But something I always tell people is if you do unique stuff, you do crafts. We need stuff for silent auction. That's a big way to get people involved. If you want to be more hands-on, we can put you in touch with our volunteer coordinator. You can work with me personally with the crisis response side. You can even come with me and Tim to some of the Thrive trainings that are going to be going on and learn even more. So we've teamed up not just with community leaders, we're working with a multitude of other nonprofits nationwide. So like Thrive, QRF Up. We're expanding, we're growing, and we're doing what's best for the veteran, military, and first responder communities. Because like I tell the other groups we work with or the other nonprofits, is if you try to do it alone, you're going to fail. You need a community, and as a nonprofit, we have to work with the others to be able to help and reach everyone in the communities.
100%. So go check out our website, go check out our Facebook page, get involved. We're going to be happy to have you. It doesn't matter if you served or not. We're going to welcome you with open arms and figure out a way for you to get engaged. All right, come down to Groundswell Café and have dinner or have lunch. I'm looking forward to this sandwich. I'm sure John's excited about his deli sandwich. So so many different ways to get involved in our community. All right. Have a good one, Cedar Rapids. Thanks for joining. Please like and subscribe. I'm Tim Nash with Skogan Realty. John Thompson with Salute to the Fallen. We'll see you later.